as they are collecting the state revenue, they are also collecting that other one because they are all included in what they will collect. So at the back end, we are sharing it. This one goes to the state, this one goes to the so there will not be any need for onye loader if you are not a load motor. Now ego. Ọ bụkwaranụ na ndị union achọghị ime engage those people. Adịmeghị engage, tie ha efe. Then site na ego welfare ha na-anata na-akwụ ha ụgwọ whether at the end of the day or at the end of the week or at the end of the month as they agree with them. But agaghị enwe situation where government will be collecting their revenue. Ndị ọzọ abịa n'ọkwa na-anakwa ndị na-agba moto ma ọ keke ego at the same time. So we agreed on that, and as in the SK revenue was there too that meeting. So I said I should let us know what we are doing at that level, so that maybe we can take it up from there and do the same thing.
I'm chairman. You go know what I hope.
Okay, so you express.
Well, if you take some that is either they will that's the no, each one can be
You know what you say? I think there are some other people too. But if they are collecting, they wear uniform.
that's what I'm saying. Either we are down to one.
Okay, children is the one.
I'm concerned that protocols established already, so I can just join my own thoughts with what I can say as well. So what is trying to say in essence is that the stakeholders around, what the hard work is around people jumping into union members. So it was a very big concern. They reported. So the governor usually will lock us inside the room after this. Make sure that we have the complete situation. So we agreed that we're going to embed whatever welfare or service challenge the unions and governments. Because that's where the major problem is. So that we're able to take those their members and government. So whatever the service challenge or their welfare will now be getting into the daily phase. So that they also help us to ensure that those people are paying, and at any point in time, I will not 10% of that money, 20 or 30 or whatever that we pay is the money. System was created, it goes to which they provide. So they can now run their activities. That's important. So the government appointed revenue agent for daily ticket for transport are still not return their job. And we even want as many more of those people so that we can have a lot of money to remove any kind of control. But the underlying factor is that for every amount collected by anybody, percentage of the video goes to them. And that will take away those guys. No, nothing like that. No, in fact, the union members don't go and be collecting money from motorists, operators after they finish paying their daily ticket. Whatever they're going to collect, build into daily ticket. I will design that, but not going to be final approval because we're hoping to have a meeting with the union and the transport stakeholders before we get out of the government and now.
My name is Dari Bali Manja. And for whatever reason, my name has been popping up in the issue of Abians. Before this camera and to the hearing of all that's sorry, I made both mistakes. What brought me in connection with Abu on the need for system stability
I want everybody to understand this. In the Bible, St. Paul will say, that was a little. Also, Lolilado Warrior Lily, Pranelo, Nasia, Lemon, everything, my friend. I say, I am the most miserable among all men. Now, coming to the issue of Abrasewa, I think there is need for appropriate contextual definition of who is an Agro and who is not an Agro. I'm only one. They can't in there say, "Many man, I'm a guamana who will lack." Sorry, I'm going to be very blunt, and that's my nature. You see, there is institutional conflict within the system. And because Lady Ngwe, Lora, Abro bears the go badly. Take for instance, at the conference of my farm, on Saturday, this is what is happening in Omaya. Abro has taken over everywhere. I said it is not true. Because everybody, especially when you are a concerned party, on channels of information, he said it is true. I said, with all due respect, it's not true. He said, make inquiries and find out. I worked on my contacts. I found out Landa had a under group in Hawaii, both state government appointed workers. Now, he has drawn his conclusion and maybe propagated self in the State Executive Council, where the so-called ABROs had no representative to talk for them and explain issues. I came up. Again, transport. A state actor, well recognized, went on air and announced for the collection of service charge. Not once, not twice, not thrice, repeatedly. Now, when the backlash came, the name man brought up, and Abu became the scapegoat and perhaps the scapegoat. In a well-structured system, when a state government functionary, when a state actor provokes an action, triggers an action, he should be able to own up to his responsibilities. I did this. Like you prevent this meeting for good or for bad. When the outcome comes, you have to be man enough to own it. When the backlash started coming, I coordinate most of these unions. I quickly called them. I said, go on air and dissuade the collection of this service charge. And it is very important to state that that collection of service charge does not come to the union. Again, most of these actions are there for Ndawuru, Ndime, with all due respect, some of them are traceable directly to some of the names. I want you to have your record. The mayors I can vouch for at the moment, both the mayors of Aba North and Aba South. There was an incident in Omigwa where some Keke people are being made to pay as much as 400 naira without even the knowledge or consent of the union. You go to Sisioma yesterday, I have it on my phone. Some people who claim to be acting on behalf of the mayor of Sisioma, who happens to be my friend and brother, they say in the Oromoto, you were there. Arocha Waro, I collect Jawe, go back to that like I should say. I have it here on my phone. When the motorists or these people who are paying this money start to react about Hamanja, about Hayudo. Now, how do we solve this problem? Very simple. And the things I'm going to say here, I have shared it with some top government functionaries too. Abia Laba, from Osisioma Junction, mainly Brad Junction, Beruta Road, almost every building is a park. It is not meant to be so. When you acquire a property, there is what is called purpose clause. The purpose which that building is meant to serve is always enshrined in the sea of O. And again, when you build your house, you give certain distance away from the road for public convenience. That public convenience, everywhere here, that space has been converted to motor park in the name of private parks. And by the rule of engagement, the union has no control, no central or item of control over activities taking place in those places. This is the union president. His powers, his responsibilities start and end within the premises of public parks, government-owned motor parks. Take for instance, you have peace mass here, close to the park, gather. I'm aware that the time he got that place, Motor Park was supposed to be extended to that place so as to have enough space to gather all these motors along the road. For whatever reason, the government of the day sold it at 700 million or so. What the purpose clause for that property said is a mall, not a motor park. And when you go there today, the loading does not take place within the premises, but outside the premises, thereby encroaching na public convenience, public space, constituting nuisance. You go to Rex Cinema, the same pass out. The thing happens there. It continues like that till the end of Asa Road. And in there road, water. When you come, you say Ndabo. And when you mention Ndabo, those people working there are private employees of the owners of those business concerns. And the activities cannot be regulated by the union membership. Finally, sirs, if we are going to reach Aba and indeed have the state of this menace of our people, we should adopt the Uyo model. What is the Uyo model? Go to Uyo from point A to point Z. You won't see any vehicle loaded along the road. You won't see one single vehicle loading along the road. How do they tackle the challenge? One, there must be political will. There must be political will. What do I mean by having political will? If you go to Uyo, the Ministry of Transport is always on air, instructing motorists not to load along the road, and also spelling out consequences of contravening such directive. And to give a bite to that directive, there is the cooperation of Ministry of Justice in establishing a mobile court. Once a defaulter is arrested, Ministry of Health comes in. Such defaulter will be sent to Ministry of Health, that is hospital, for psychiatric examination. And the verdict is always predetermined. Is here there? Let him go and cool off for 2-3 weeks. That defaulter is detained or quarantined or incarcerated. Now, the vehicle is fined. Assuming the driver that defaulted is not the owner of the vehicle owner comes, pay as much as 300,000 to a state government designated revenue account. When somebody suffers such penalty today, you don't punish your vendors for the sake of being wicked. You punish your vendors to send the right signal to serve as a deterrent to others. So conclusively, gentlemen, aside from laboratory, but 80% of what is happening is traceable to government agencies and lack of political will to know what is right. Thank you very much.
Dịka anyị na-ewe achọrọ m ka m na-apụta right near Umuahia South local government. Mahunde first with their names. But then there's a reverend father I know on Mufti. They were manhandling him with two. On the side of the road with 3 other vehicles. Because I know the reverend father. Casual give them no obstruction. Where? Onye park the motor. Kebele Munusi, now I say Umuahia South. Ekole chọrọ in 50,000. Say okay. I quickly called the HK. Say HK, where are you? So then office. Say, can you come out? I said, I am in front of your local government. I said, you don't have phone. My phone, you get the guy. Why I said, oh my. Okay, I can go. I said, no, but shut up. You can out to pass. What am I saying? Say, HK, I respect you as a mayor. After I use my police people to gather all these people back to the area command. You know, by the time I come, most of you get arrested, the one passing. That is to align with you now. Some of it will form the government side and the design for all. Same yesterday, Olike maybe within the AS. Yes, Canada office, a man was beating. He was a former custom officer. Now, brass. Traffic light, red. Oga back on Aga brass, tongue. Okay, it's not allowed to do the baby. They held him with their vehicle, beat the hell out of him, took his forerunner to the Ministry of Works there. He said, where are you people from? Now how would they? I now have to invite the police area commander. I said, because is this thing happening? The governor's excellency is saying that this is what we don't want in this town. How can this man be suffering? I now call the RRS man, say, go and check in that home. Say, go, let me take the responsibility. He now went and arrested one of them. Then he now called me Carol Connell. That these people are his men. Can you understand him? Can you really say his man? He said, no. Okay, come on, I'm going to you governor. Can man and governor see only you know? Eventually, there was a truce. He's going to come to our one. I can be on Abians meeting now. He said he's going to my office. Because here, if I see those people again, I will take law into my hands. I'll use my police people to arrest them. So, our government induced talking. So the point is, that the official working with us here and there, how do we tame them? So that Kahamatan and the government of today, DJ and Kendi mass. That is the problem. We are not saying Agro should not be revenue. Are we going to go into another training for them? What is going to be the consequences? Because whatever you do, there is no consequence. See, I live in Lagos. At the exception of last month, last magic, I got all of the office. Oh, but if I am going to the tax net, no do. Only little problem can away with last month. but the discipline is there. All Lagos be do Lagos psychiatric hospital. They heard my friend the Imam Bishop of Koko, one of the motor with his Mercedes. David Navarro one way. Haju. Warrior Gar Hospital. Do you know indeed at the end of the day, they may examine the owner, David Ada. That was how he did. But because I got that hospital, that's a genetic test. Guy, just align myself with you. I got choose some way consequences here because that will every day back. I did the hand too much. Because of actions and the inactions of Timas, every other person in the wild today, Nimarugo is showing me a document signed on my behalf as Abano, with the police. Signed on my behalf. Oh, okay. So, once we get it right, 6 months ago, you know, every day I speak to Isaac. Isaac, what are you doing again? That is Susiama Junction. Sometimes I'm married to him. I have to meet here, Charlo. Barricades. Still. So, first of all, I want to thank you on behalf of the government of Abians State. I didn't never means we mean well. And I thought we will get there. Today is not the day for blame. Let me accept it and say, okay, how do we move forward? Prof. Whoever with these people. It is enforcers didn't anyhow how cause this problem for us. And half of them now roll for their own pockets. So, Oyegada, thank you so much. Consequences is number one. Information. The last meeting with the prof, the AG informed us now again with mobile cops. 3. One from Wahe, one for Abanot, one for Abasa to start with. So I think, Prof, and if we can, with the model, all we need in our party, we need not time to go down to go to Mother. 3, 4. You have option of fine, but at least by 1 week, I don't know when mobile court they about 1 week. Then when you have blown the two, now we very hard. So I think there has to be a response center. Response center with security agents, we will agree. If I see anybody now, Brass Junction, molesting, because in the case of why I can target. How why they will cross the no red light. The thing is, get the response team. That will come and make that arrest. Because in most cases, they go with this small bus. I don't know how they plate number. So, in order to go to your style for now, before they come, Maburo, Mangwao, Mohuho, let us have a response team with the security in hand. Yes, I will do no. I will not do the bonus so that they want the mojo before they move. Thank you so much.
The proposal is to have 3 mobile courts with task force that will comprise of all both the security men, police, all the security men, and for most of these agencies. Then Oga gave the proposal to Attorney General. After going through the proposal, it's okay. The proposal comprises of both psychiatric tests and also checking the academic test. So when you all need first, check on my proposal. gone to it. We are just waiting for its approval. And also, I know we are working towards Uganda and other committee to have a central park, one in Osioma, one in Ogunabo, and one in Aba Central. For all the whole because all the parks, all the private parks will be closed and everybody will move to the central park. If you wish to be in Osioma, you pay government and then run, which is remove your model. And we've gone far to even go check for site selection. We've selected some places, even the trailer as well, because trailer is still having a problem. Most of the people we are talking about that is molesting people, diabolos or whatever they are calling them, still fight with the trailers. And we also try to get some places like in Gunabo area, maybe one in Osioma, and maybe one in Obingwa, for trailers. Once they come, they can accord there. Anybody that wants to collect any type of revenue will be in that park. And that is what we are working towards. You know, the truth is that we call them agro, but those people loading in the park is not agro. It's transport assistance. They help to assist to organize the park. But the people we are talking about, most of those people that collect money from agencies are the people that causes problems. Sometimes some of them are not even from the agency. Some people, like what he said now, try to form or forge papers. You see them on the road, even in the night. So the truth is that if all of us can work with one voice for these 3 parks I'm mentioning we can have here in Aba, then move all the whole private parks and close down those people. Even some people are loading the filling stations, which is very risky. I'm against it. If you go to along by the First Bank, Umwacham now, people that have turned that place to be a park. I plan after this meeting, I'm going there to ask him to give him approval. So the plans are everywhere, and those people are still there extorting, and we cannot control those people because they call it is a private business. And if we have a central park, this revenue we are talking about, we'll get it in large quantity. A large revenue will be coming to the government because the whole enforcers and the union will make sure that before you move your vehicle in the morning as you're loading, you're paying for the revenue you're supposed to pay. And it will solve our problem. Now people will not be hanging on the road. Even the one concerning Keke, because there's another area we are having issues. The Keke area. With what we agreed with the BIR and the motor union, for whatever their welfare will be, it will be paid straight to the government purse. And as they pay for the ticket, it goes straight to their own union account. The one for government goes to the government, but the people working in the pits will be dressed like people that are going for their normal work, and they will help to make sure that the keke are being aligned. They will not be clustering everywhere, or causing traffic congestion. And that one will reduce. And with that, those keke will still help the enforcers to make sure that the revenue going to the government will be collected. So concerning Diablo, if we come to this model, which is your model we are trying to bring in the state now, it's going to make us achieve what we want. And we have a free and seamless transport system.
Limited parks where these vehicles will load their passengers. That's number one. So the Ministry of Transport will have to provide parks for us so that everybody, the move will have defined whatever the big parks they can in the state. We have parks already. They may exist that are public parks. The only thing we need to do is to move people into those parks. That's number one. Number two, we must have towing vans. Towing vans, towing all these vehicles that are we must have towing vans. Number three, we must have mobile courts. We must have mobile courts. gị na-eme ka ya fi na-eme ihe na-adịghị iwu na-asọpọt. That is, once you get the person and ọ dị abịa ime farm, move ya to our farm or wherever. Then we must have designated hospitals where you will do all the psychiatric tests. All those psychiatric tests. Every hospital they make psychiatric tests. So we must have designated hospitals where you will do psychiatric tests. Then there will be arrangement for the security agencies that will also help in these things. If we organize these things in this manner, I think we are on the way to reduce the menace of Ndaburu on the streets. So that's just what I have concluded on what we have been discussing so far. So gather, let's see if we can gather all this together and then move forward. Thank you.
While the SO on Transport was speaking, the Honorable Commissioner for Transport came. Comrade, the level one. Coming late. Over this issue of how to find one and go by. Let me put it down before I get to this place. I was called early this morning. What is happening along with that? That's exactly what I want to tackle before coming to this place. So there will it. There will. Later I will also talk.
Thank you. So they can do it. I think most of the issues I will clear. But the one from only that is the whole the issue raised by the BIR on charges and other things. For me, my greatest hatred is that any model in the union, they were right to collect any other thing from middle of we need to publicize it to the people. Because as today, the small park can do electronics market. Ndị keke na ndị ọdọ n'otucha, ndị union that now we go by loading. So let's make it as a point of policy that going forward, nobody should pay money to any other person on daily basis, except the designated agents that are hand. Because I'm not sure like the union will share from there. Which means the issue of illegal collection stop automatically. Because if you get a quarrel for nothing, it is not approved. Number two, yes, we are talking of parks. But another menace like traffic, like cabo, mobile, again, they move further. How do we revive the various bus stops and make it effective? Do we centralize all these issues of traffic under ATMAS so that they will control of the whole of our traffic movement? They can post their personnel to all these bus stops. I know in other cities, a taxi was a like don't designated time you can stay there before you move out. Can you blow maybe I don't need the load to do? You can take you 20 minutes. Another one after another one after that. In that case, even at one place, even up to 40 kk, none of that you load motor. So if it is possible, we revive the bus, the motor bus stop that you will. TMAS or ATMAS as at now, are they effectively in control of all these bus stops? Manage here very well and make it like a bus stop where people can wait for taxi, for keke or anything to go. One of them not the keke, if when keke, I will have a super junction. You know you will. The guy, they made the town at that day very rowdy. every time. Other issues that especially closure of private parts, they will.
Hello.
Ndị ka ndị one. When my brother was talking, he mentioned by local government in particular. One day, we didn't send anybody to do any of those. And like Ide was saying, we've been actually looking for solutions to all of these issues since inception of office December 1. Osisioma had been an issue, especially the flyover. I used to say, if you have one very good shirt, you will not use it to go to the farm. You will rather use it to go to church or go for function. You have only one flyover in Abia State. Yet, that is the place that they have turned to a park, using it for things that shouldn't be. The first thing we did, normally, if you want to drive people out, you must have where you are driving them into. You can't just let people leave. If you tell them to leave, where exactly are you directing them to go? There's a park, Asioma Modern Park, opposite the local government road, right on that express. If you know that park, you go there, you see the work we've done so far. We've cleared the whole place. You've noticed that. We've cleared the whole place. His Excellency has promised to release some funds to us. And on my number one project is to put 45 million into that park. Because until that park starts working, I cannot get everybody in Osisioma flyover to get out of there. So that park, if you go in there today, it's functional today, but it's still not at the taste I want it to be before I start enforcement. As at yesterday, we are written to the CP to give us men, because being at that Osisioma flyover is not what you do 8 to 6, or a 24-hour job. Because people are loading. So we have asked, during my monthly security meeting, I practically wrote to all the security agents to have them on routine, 24 hours. Like he says, every time he comes out at Osisioma, he calls me, Israel, what are you doing? And your people, there was once he came, he thanked me that, oh, the place is looking good. Then the next meeting we had, he said, I thought I was thanking you the last time. So we are looking for lasting solutions, and it will take funds, and like you said, it will take political will. But the first thing I'm doing, while other mayors are busy grading road, doing it, I'm fixing park first because of the uniqueness of my own local government. And I'm sure once I get it done, that place will be clear. We are working and we'll make things happen. We shall make things happen.
The chairman of our international market, Ogunde Aini, like my prof rightly stated, to sanitize the city. And he has succeeded in giving us summary of what we have contributed as solutions to the already existing problem. But let us not forget that this is the first time majorly in Abia State where there is a transition of governance and power from one political party to another. As a result of that, within these years, the activities of the government of the day then has helped to shape the mindset of the people living in Aba and the major cities in Abia State. Because everything starts from the up, down, and flows down. The economy aka government ga-ejepụta, the same hand is the same hand the masses ga-eji follow. For instance, if we have not considered the part of working on the mindset of the people, whatever solution that we have may be difficult for them to adhere to. The issue of orientations are very, very paramount, because in the time past, running along highways, mmadụ ịgbahapụ lane ya na lane ọzọ, in the time past has become an order of the day, including some top government officials. And on the same note, for instance, the other day I was coming from Aba to my through Bakala. Normally, if you go Bakala, if I one way, there will be almost immigration to town. He said, no, don't try it. Go and do the right thing. Said, now you have done the right thing. How do you feel? I said, I'm as free as air. Now, but some of the top government officials may be being in a haste because people are watching. And whatever thing we exhibited, especially in the public, the masses are also watching. Now, if we can start working on calling for a seminar strategically, giving them orientation, things have changed, because some of them still believe up till now that it is going to be business as usual. But we have to make them to understand it is not going to be like that, starting from the top to down. Then again, like the mayor said, issue of bus stops. In those days in Aba, during the time of Mbakwe and some military interlocutors, bus stops were very functional. Though all this keke has not been prevalent as it was today, all taxis and buses. But bus stops will go a long way to know who has done the right thing and who is doing the wrong thing. For instance, in Lagos, you don't stop passengers arbitrarily. You must stop them at the designated bus stops. And again, when we must have fixed all the parks and do away with all these private parks, then if you must load, let there be a loading bay that is owned by the government. Then if you must alight passengers from your keke or bus or whatever, you must do that in a designated place so that it will be able for us to regulate. Then all these things being said, when you come to the aspect where markets are located, market is an institution that always have people coming to it and people going out. Now, such things should also be extended, working with the market authorities. For instance, from Ariada Junction, I can attribute that to the construction of the express, which is ongoing. Most times when you come there, you will see the cluster of keke as if there is a bee running towards money or something like that. You won't have anywhere to fit in. Some are moving from, some are turning, some are doing all kind of nuisance at the junction. Then walking towards Samek, I can't imagine how some people in the bid to reconstruct road, you don't put give an open space in a four-way road. You don't put a U-turn in a four-way road. What you put in a four-way road is roundabout. But when you at that opening that is there, you can never. There must be hold up. Why? Because this is old express like this. This is old express like this. This is first road like this, and this is Abians junction. You come and put a U-turn. People from here will always want to turn. These people, but when you close that place and go straight to airline junction and put a U-turn, people coming from this way will now go direct and turn. People coming from this way will now go up to power line and turn. When you watch that power line area, you see they make it to be wide in the sense that there will be a turn aside. This is to help to sanitize the city, because most especially every day it has become a custom that must be brought up there. during from 4 p.m. that was when market is almost dismissed. Now, if we can look at some of these things and start, I'm appealing, whatever solution we provide here, let us begin first with proper orientation. Let there be a arrangement of coordinated seminars involving the stakeholders of the departments that are involved. Number one. Two, we need to go on air. That should be the services of National Orientation Agency. They are working in that state. Go on air. The radio, televisions, social media, and give people orientation. Please, government has changed. If you do this, this will happen to you. If you do this, this will happen to you. So that they will now take it to the men and women who cannot be in the social media or listen to the radio, but they are also involved in what we are trying to do. So I think when all these things are being done, one will get 2 will get 8 will get 16, 16 will get 32. By that time, our objective will be actualized. Thank you so much.
Part of those that the state also needs to raise the generated revenue. That is why IDR people are here. And those revenues are not only from Keke and buses. It's also raised from markets. It's also raised through Astepa. That's why it's here. So, in order not to spend too much time, I didn't know this was going to last long here from government. More now, I can make action plan on this first so that we can rest it and focus on other aspects that can help the state. To do that, let me just update based on what I've had. First, there are going to be 5 town hall meetings in the 5 local government areas. When the town hall meeting is going to be held in the area, every street will produce 2 individuals from their streets. The markets will have representatives, and a town hall meeting like this will be held. There will be one for Sisioma town hall, different town hall. Town hall meeting. So once that is done, the message you're saying will be carried further to the communities and to the communities. And some of the mayors have very good ideas about dividing the areas into sectors just to cascade the information of the government towards the people. Having said that, there has been an approval for us to set up a center. So I'm going to call Chidebere that is running it to explain how that will work.
December last year, the government gave approval for what is called road infrastructure abuse task force. It was supposed to be set up to manage the issues of road abuse in Aba. But for the first 2-3 weeks, for about a month or so, we carried out sensitization in Aba. So you probably have seen talks with people, sharing flyers, talking about different issues. We talked about wrong parking, we talked about indiscriminate drug selling on the streets, and all of those things. I'm sure a lot of you would have seen or heard of someone giving me a flyer. Also, we started enforcement sometime this month, about 2 weeks ago. But then we noticed that there were several other people doing the same thing. We had people from ASEPA, we had people from ASMA, we had people from the Ministry of Transport. We had a lot of people who were doing similar things. So one of the things, after one of the experts who came to said, the governor asked us to put together one task force for the entire Aba, so that we don't have issues of duplicity. People running the same thing with different bodies running all around. I'm pretty sure this morning some people came here to find out about their vehicle. Someone had clamped their vehicle, but we had to try to trace which task force it was. Go here, go here, go here, and that's not at all. So our plan, what we intend to do is we have a facility, the warehouse. We are setting up the warehouse, the office for the task force. But we want to have one enlarged task force. what this will mean is that we have people from every task force. We're working together. So you have teams on the road. People who go out on the road, they have people from the GADA task force, people from Ministry of Transport, people from ASAPA, everybody. So we know that one team, if your team is going to a particular part of Aba, we are splitting Aba into like 4 or 5 sections. If your team is going to a particular section in Aba, you have everybody together. So that you have everybody together. You go there. If it's an environment crime, the person gives you the demand notice for the environment offense. If it's for if it's for traffic offense, it's the same thing. So that you have one point of call for every issue, and it can be resolved at a particular point. Also, we are setting up the office for the task force to ensure that we have proper records, which is one thing that we've had issues with. We have proper records. So that at every point in time, anybody who goes anywhere and says this is what happened, you can always refer back to the office. You have proper records for everything. You're creating a database of all the offenses, everybody who has committed an offense. We're working to get together the mobile court. We're working to get security involved. We're working to get every stakeholder involved, so that we have one point of call for every issue. We're also setting up a call center in the office. So if you have a problem, if somebody stops you on the road and tells you, "Oh, we are from this task force," and you want to call to confirm, you call. Someone picks your call, answers you, gives you all the directions for everything you want. What we are trying to do is to ensure that there's one point of call for every issue. We don't want people running from one point to another, trying to track issues, trying to track everything.
I don't know how they were established, but I want to chip in a few things because I'll soon be running out. I've had a bit of enough to make some contributions. The idea to have a hybrid arrangement for Aba is a very apt one, and it deserves the communication of everybody. At the same time, relevant agencies that will have to play critical roles ordinarily should have been carried along. But from what I've heard here now, like you just said now, they are trying to carry along agencies, including security agencies. That's always a problem with such arrangements. The civil society, the civil population will always cast a mold and want to fit us into that mold. I'm not trying to go the different one, you understand? But if in the conceptual stage, if in the conceptual, we are part of it, we'll tell you how these things work. On paper, they're always so brilliant. But when you start the enforcement now, you now begin to see the problems. And when the problems come, who are they going to call? Call police. Then will that become reactive? Tomorrow they say, well, they will call them here, will not call them there, they call them, they don't come, they come. No, it shouldn't be so. So I don't know how many town hall meetings you have stated. Those are also good. But I think there's a need for us to go back to the drawing board. I've heard about task force about to be created or already created. You understand? I've had a few things, that ordinarily from the beginning, we should have looked at everything that, okay, this works, this doesn't work. Even in the meeting for today, I didn't hear about it. If not my boss who was on the show, I said he was going to. We were supposed to have another meeting no more. I said he was going to. I'm not for what? I'm not another meeting. He said, no, I'm going for this gathering meeting. Very not to that. I said I wasn't told. And incidentally, yesterday or last night I saw you. Yesterday. You didn't tell me. The only reason why I forgave you sir, is that you're my senior in secondary school. Otherwise, you can be you understand? I'm serious. But we'll continue the discussion. From where I think where we are now, we are progressing nicely. But we need to draw back a bit, especially at this level, so that we can make some inputs. So that as you're building, we build better going forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Everything I want to say has been said, but I just want to make an input. My input will be in the areas of implementation. Meetings like this, we talk. At the end of the day, nothing happens. We need to come up with a short-term plan, medium term, and the long term. There is a lot of madness and lawlessness in our life, that something has to be done as a matter of urgency. The level of lawlessness in our life, a state of emergency should be declared on the lawlessness in our life, especially among the league again. and street trading. I was in the process of setting up the congestion task force before I spoke with the DG Gather. When I spoke to the DG Gather, he said he was going to do the same thing, and it's going to be across the Gather area, which I think is a brilliant idea. So you don't have different people doing whatever they are doing. Another area I want to talk about is the operational time of KK people. So we need to go back and look at the operational time of the KK people and enforcement of the operational time. And, started out, has given us some action points. So, Mr. DG, I would suggest you set up an implementation panel. We'll sit down and start looking at things in the short run, medium term, and the long run. In the issue of the town hall meeting, I think a roadshow might be more effective than town hall meeting. We do a roadshow, get the float, get a van, wherever we stop, we make the announcement, get some decision. People would listen to that more than having a meeting. It will be difficult to gather everybody, come to a town hall meeting, do this, and they might not come. So when you do that roadshow, maybe we have a musician or whatever, play music, people will gather and you deliver the message, honestly. Mr. DJ, I think that's all for now.
When my brother was here, standing here was making a comment of how things is like the creation of various task forces created or set up, mentioning Ministry of Transport. Let me stand here to say that the Ministry of Transport has not set up any task force of any time for now. Anybody trying to use Ministry of Transport as to launch himself, export people, will be seriously resistant. I know that what we have that comes on road is PIOs we have that will check the papers, your papers. And we have a computerized center somewhere here that you should go here and check your vehicle and know exactly the extent, how good, how viable your vehicle is, so that you will not kill others on the road with your vehicle and even at the shape. I know that when some people are caught, my phone will not rest. There are people over here caught me for this, for that. They asked me to go and test my vehicle and see if it is an offense. It's not an offense. Please, I'm just using this opportunity to enlighten us that we have a computerized center here and one at Ombara. It is meant for us. Another thing is people behaving as if they don't have this IQ in terms of the way they conduct themselves on the road. I know that Enyimba FM for some time now has been talking seriously about Commissioner for Transport. Ndị Igbo so onye na-anọghị ebe a nọ n'ozu asa abụọ ya nọ na-agata n'ụkwụ abụọ ya. We should be impressed with the happenings of the day. I have powers limited to me to do certain things, but not to the detriment of the public we are protecting. It is our duty to protect the public because they voted this government. So while protecting them, they should not take advantage of it to rubbish the government also. Because I know there are some elements trying to rubbish this government no matter how good we are. And some of them are using these KK people. And we are not going to allow that. Whatever that we are going to do to resist infiltration of the bad ones, to rubbish the government of His Excellency, it can't come from my ministry. And no ministry, no commissioner will allow it to his ministry to be used. So I will urge everybody, please, we should learn how to cooperate with inevitable. Whatever we cannot do right for now, we place it under the cross. Because I know that His Excellency is well for this estate. No two ways about it. Another thing I had when I came in was about setting up a task force, or setting up a task force which would constitute the medical line and all the rest of them. The governor set up that team, comprising of Attorney General, myself, and SA. We have given him that because whatever we do without enforcement, it will be effort and futility. Once we get it, I need them and they are on any motor or condition. Because you see a keke people, a keke person moving, all of a sudden in the nature of a road, he will do U-turn, not minding that somebody is coming. And once you hit them, you see the crowd of the keke people coming to attack. This will not continue. So by His grace, any moment from now, if the governor should release what we have put on paper, I know that this will come down. It will die down. And the mayor of going to create the Osisoma Park. This will use it as an interim measure to push the long trailers along the road. They asked me to meet Commissioner for Works to give me bulldozer or payload. But when I went, he said there was no money there. By the time I came, I saw that work was going on there. And I inquired the SNS, that the person I wanted to get in touch with you, at least to congratulate you. It's not an easy something. So all hands must be on deck. Because like he rightly pointed out, if you want to move somebody, like I discussed with the governor, you must show him a place to push him. Because most of them will leave their houses. Their ends and objective is, let me go and make food for my people. And if they go and come back empty-handed, you will send our family on a place. So please, this is our state. We must join hands together to build up the state. Thank God that we have somebody in the person of His Excellency. They want to upload about Ambassador and Abians. All I know in the past, it was like a jamboree. We are living in a banana island where there is no rule of law. But today, we can look up and say, God, thank you for the person you have given to us. So please, my fellow Abians, Biko, and I'm a as Lobe, Apple, Lome goes on. And the man exactly what we are going to do. We must salvage this state together. Everybody has a contribution. So the mayors inclusive, like I told them when we had a meeting with Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, I have told me in writing, the issue of proliferation of parks everywhere, both in Omaha and in Aba, is alarming. You go to a functional filling station, you see up to 2 loading beds there. If you go there and close them, the next day they will start functioning. If this task force will come on board, then we should know exactly why they should continue to behave that way. So we are not holding our hands. With God, what is possible? We are going to get it right. Thank you very much. I hope I stand and it's not break. For the GM Gather, thank you for this meeting here today. I just want to point out one thing. I think we are having a lot of task forces. Before now, there is a task force which His Excellency had approved. Although it was a task force for revenue generation. But what we could do is we could rejig that task force and domicile it as you intend to do in your office. But to go and start setting up different task forces or a new task force, I don't think it is necessary. Maybe what will happen is I'll forward the one that was approved by His Excellency so that we look at it and doctor it or revise it a little bit to suit the current realities on ground. It's not any different from what happens in Lagos. Lagos State just has one task force. Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Task Force and Special Duties. That's the task force they have that covers every other thing. And it has an enabling law which has given fight to that task force. So I suggest we look at that task force again and then rejig it and then we put it to use in a way that it will cover what we intend it to cover. Thank you very much.
Everybody needs to be part of it. The CSO says the police forces will not be part of it. Like you're saying, your SO security, you guys were part of it. So we now need you guys to be part of it, the mayors to be part of it, ASEPA to be part of it, BR to be part of it, transport to be part of it, sanitation to be part of it, transport unions and the market leadership to be part of it. So that it is one task force, one gun, one authority in the city. There will be no two. And there is one control. The control room is being built somewhere here, River Avenue. So when people are called, documentations are done there. There are computers there. There are people manning it. And the payments are made directly to BIR. No component of this is expected to collect money. All monies are collected purely by BIR. My profit. Is that what you're saying? But most importantly, what we need to agree today is to set up a small committee that will flesh our agreement out so we can operationalize it. If not, this is just talk. So we need to set up an operational unit that must conclude by Sunday so that it will be on His Excellency's desk by Monday. So that by next week, Tuesday, we can implement. This is purely on the task force. Does anybody have a count of
There's one thing, you now say the chairman is PIR chairman, no policeman, no military man will work under any civilian. So if the task force is being set up, yeah, others will fall in.
We can take that one offline.
Okay.
The issue of revenue is an issue of law. If you are enforcing, the police does not enforce revenue by law. It is the revenue authority that enforces. So when you are setting task force and you are enforcing, you put all those things into consideration. I don't know if you get what I mean. No, so we are coming from the angle of law, so that you don't go to court and you will be messed up.
No. See, this is
this meeting to now give us a workable plan that includes the concerns of the security forces, the concerns of the BR chairman, the concerns that Minder expressed, which I think covers all the transport unions, the leadership of the different markets will also be part of it. So we can have something that works for everyone. Not exactly that everybody will be happy, but at least it will work. The market unions. So I think with that, we can rest this Abian thing and proceed to other aspects of this meeting. And for that, I'm going to hand this mic to the chairman of the Board of Internal Revenue because this falls on his level. And the answer.
I think what we have already discussed, if I may say, is all encompassing. It has to do with revenue. The task force we are talking about now will have to handle revenue enforcement. So it's just all encompassing. So the what do we call it now? The team we are gathering will go there and bring everything together and and then we work with it. There's no need equal work with that. Or we will find.
I'd rather, I know we're used to call it task force, but I rather look at it as enforcement. Because people have a task force, and I've had them mad group, you know, ever get that or force, you know. All we want, and this is a government that we don't want to push our people to do the right thing. But I want to enforce and support our people to do the right thing. It's been discussed and it's agreed that we need a central coordinating unit. You know, my own approach to this coordinating unit, it will be operationalized by the different agencies and our then like our people are kind of the realities that our people don't like obeying, don't like changing for the better quickly. And we say that forces support that would come because nobody will allow uniform. I have a not like uniform. The black man particularly will like a uniform too much. More black and black or more yellow and brown or more green and white, anything uniform, they start doing things. Then on the other side, here Kiaba Biare, the Ochigarabu. Revenue is very important to government. By the time we operationalize this enforcement team, it doesn't take away that revenue will not be aware. BIR is the central body collecting revenue for the state. Every other MTA, they push here for them. You know, BIR manage here, BIR what is called helicopter view. Because they push there. In cooperation with BIR, so that we don't work across purposes. So woman the mother say, because for instance, the other day in ESCO, somebody, a honorable commissioner said that companies how they accept. A lot of funny things are going on here. And to the best of my knowledge, ASEPA has not got to give any company any demand notice to pay ASEPA dues. At least in this government from May 29th. People are still breathing. Or people say they are getting demand notices. It could be true, it could be lies, so to say. But we need to have a common front, matter, you know, and push for this revenue. This revenue is very important. If we expect our government to do roads, do schools, do hospitals, it's only fair that people pay government what is due to them, the tax, that's revenue. So we will operationalize how to do this thing going forward. Take out leaks. And on that note, I will urge all of us here as stakeholders. Because all I want to know is task force. And when you even ask them, you know, I say, don't worry. Because my people, there's no good man with responsibilities. They have to have all work in the morning without expecting to go back with something. So when they concentrate on task force, I will have work. I want to let go of I know a lot of other people that bring them. I want you to put my people in task force. Don't worry. I said, I will, if you don't pay them, and I will free. They won't.
Auru nyere anyị aka nke ọma imezigharị ihe ndị na-adịghị mma a chọrọ ka ọ dị mma. Otu n'ime ihe m chọrọ ikwu na major roads ndị nọ n'Aba iji maatụ Owerri road dịka gọvanọ na-ahụ ya rụọ road ya ka line. Ọ ga-adị mma ma ọ bụrụ na a ga-abịa na major roads ndị nọ n'Aba enye ndị keke one line, one single line. One simple line. O nwere ike ịra ahụ asị na ka dị ọgọ ihe na ihe ndị a ga-eleba ime nye ndị private ndị other vehicle good lines onye keke na-achọghị inwe ndidi ya daa iwu akpọghị ya mobile court ya nke ọzọ ahụrụ achọ okwu na mkpa dị na ihe agbawo obodo a na-azụ ya ọ dị mkpa dị dịka a na-achọ ka eme ka okporo ụzọ anyị ha dị free dị mma na a ga-eme rehabilitate paakị niile nọ n'ahịa dị iche iche n'Aba maka na ọtụtụ paakị nọ n'ahịa ndị nọ n'Aba atụchala ọ bụrụ na enwekwaghị paakị n'ahịa enweghị otu a ga-esi kwụsị ịna-ele otu moto n'ụzọ n'ebe ọbụla wa ahịa n'otu n'ime ihe ndị a ga-etinye na ihe ndị mobile court ahụ ga na-arụ wee hụ na onye nọ n'okporo ụzọ ebe a na-azụ ahịa n'elu otu moto a ga-ejide ya kpọrọ ya ga mobile court mana a ga-emenwu nke a ma ọ bụrụ na emebe erestọbe ha park nọ n'ahịa dị iche iche ndị arụtụrụla shops ka aha wụrụ ka nke atọ awụrụ ana m arịọ dịka a ga-esi eji mobile court a enwere iwu ga-emegide ndị na-awụnye deti na gota maka na ụzọ niile agụgọdọ na-arụrụ anyị ihe ga-eme ya emebi echi na ọma na ndị agba ahụ ịwụnye deti na gota ọnwụ na a ga dịka agụgọdọ na-ekpochasị ụzọ gota niile nọ n'Aba ugbu a agbachi nkịtị mmiri ozuzo bịa ma enwebeghị iwu dị mmiri ozuzo gachaa gaa na gota niile ahụ mechiebara soma na-achọ isi na ọ dị mkpa dị na a ga-enwe ike nwee iwu ga-echekwa ndị mmadụ ịna nwunye deti na gota ọ dị mkpa ka ọzọ awụrụ ma na-arịọ ndị isi nchekwa anyị ndị uwe ojii na ndị ọzọ otu n'ime ihe na-eme n'ụzọ a na-ekwe ọgịga na-abawo ya bụrụ na enwere hold up ndị uwe ojii maọbụ ndị ukwu agba one way ngwa ngwa ha bara one way ahụ ha gbafechala ndị ọzọ esoro ha gbachicha ụzọ ahụ a sị na onye mara iwu na-adị iwu ọ dị mkpa na a ga-etinye n'ọnụ na ndị isi anyị na ndị uwe ojii na ndị ọrụ nchekwa ndị ọzọ ga-enwe ndidi ma enwere hold up ọrụ ha so n'ime ka ụzọ gawa agawa so ọ bụrụ na enwere ebe enwere hold up ha ga-enye aka mepee ụzọ ahụ kama ị ga-agba gbanwee ngwa ngwa ha gbafere gbanwee ndị ọzọ esochie ụzọ ahụ akpochie ihe ndị a ka m chọrọ itinye. Thank you very much.
Onye isi ndị aspanela ka a ga-esi mee ka achọ otu a ga-esi mee chọọ otu a ga-esi gwa ndị mmadụ hụ na aṅụọ mmiri a na o nwere otu a ga-esi mee ya ka ọ ghara ịba na gota anwụọ pịa wọta ka ọ ghara ịba na gota maka ihe na-abrọkụ gota ọ bụ sọsọ ihe ehiri ehiri ọ plastik a ga-abụ ọbanye ha na ọbrọkọ ya ọ bụrụ na enwee provision na-enwere ihe dịka bọket ihe ọbụla gbasara plastik waterproof nwere separate area ọ na-aga ghara ịbụ ike azị na-eburi ya a na-ele anya otu ọ dịka mmiri ọ na-aga atụnye na gota o nwere ihe omena ọbara na drainage ghara ịblọk ya achọ nta ga-esi mee hụ na ọ na-adị onwe ya iche ahịhịa nkịta nọrọ onwe ya iche ọ bụ na big bucket plastic bucket ka m na-ekwu o nwere ndị na-ebu ibu enwere ike na every yard ọ ka anyị dị n'ahịa ga-enwe ya ọtụtụ ebe ga-aba a ga-esi ebe ahụ trọk nke ga-abịa ibu ndị ahụ plastik ọ ga-enwe uru ọ ga-aba ihe a ga-eji ya mee ghara ibu ikpokọta mkpokọ na bọket a eji ekpokọ ihe niile ọ ga-enyere anyị aka ọgwụkwa na onye ebe nsogbu ndị a bụ ndị ga-eme enforcement uru ga-esi ebe ahụ ga-apụta ego ga-abara gọọmenti straight maka onye daa iwu ya agwa ya pay to gọọmenti account don't pay anybody. Thank you.
But let me make it clear. Waste will waste, but plastic or the age is for the when came to say where they got that. But I hear where you're coming from, and very soon I get water communication, which is on what the government wants to do. That will involve on your own again when just be that again when it be. So and I think just like we look at now how to start separation. But I'm actually buying waste to wealth. I'm actually buying waste conversion, which will involve and I be there when we start it. It will even pay the market or it will pay even a compound. Yeah, I don't know. Did I go to provide there? All of them, everywhere that you get plastic to Egypt. Because if you are Egypt, you can sell it. I can go get go. There's so much money in a plastic out there. So we're coming to that side of what I should not because if you open other gym high and they have to hear plastic here, plastic pure water Egypt. They would because that way they go that. Where we see my name go that. No waste at all. So in less than a week, I get video open dustbin again. Different sizes. Size garden commensurate to size of a size I go in my I would say I go in shopping plaza. What is I go in the yard? What is I go there for a single family a single family so to say. What is I go in my boss? All these things are all accept from area we distribute here. But I hear you very well coming to that. I don't know why
permit me to stand on an already established protocol. I believe that this meeting, and it was not everybody Maria and I got to cover. It's very difficult to assemble this kind of personalities. And I expected some market leaders here to stand up and throw off their challenges. But all of you are talking, all of you kept silent. Everybody is here. The mayors are here. The BRI chairman is here. The SS governments are here. And all of them have left. Tomorrow now you will start making calls. There are so many things that need to discuss in this kind of meeting. There are so many things that need to differentiate. Some of you are having battles with your mayors or your various local governments, and none of you want to talk. Some of you are having difficulties in those, this is meant for local government, this is meant for state government, this is meant for transport union. All of you are keeping silent. When they are all gone now, you people start making calls. Who is the original owner of this? Who's supposed to collect this toll? And the one that's supposed to give you directives are here. You don't want to talk. Today I had some announcements because of revenue from radio station. All these things, the people like going to my every day. But we bring down overhead down to this place today for you to ask and hear explanation, the right way to go, and none of you want to talk. Why I'm saying it here is because I know I've had some complaints. Some mayors are having issues in their market, they were inside the local government because of some market leadership revenue, or what we call, I don't know how to put it. But here today, I expected some of you to talk to the mayors or for the BIR chairman to tell you to go this way. And for the information I had, I think government stopped every toll for now until you hear directly from the BIR chairman. Am I right? I'm not talking about the consolidated revenue. Yeah?
On toll, yes. On toll.
Yeah? So no market tolls is going on.
Never heard of it, sir.
We
have never heard of it.
If there is something getting announcement, it will be difficult to start again. So why I'm saying this, there are some tolls that government stopped from now until they finish harmonization. Am I right? Yeah? So when you come to this kind of meeting, you talk, you ask questions, but you know the direction you are going, so that tomorrow now, people will not start making calls, people will start going to radio stations and television. But people just get quiet, don't want to ask questions. Well, I rest my case because why we are here today is not only for because of Ambrose. We are here today to sanitize our back. Anything that will bring bad name for His Excellency, that is why we gathered here today. It's not only for Agbo. Agbo is not the only section of people that are bringing bad name for the government. Some of you in your market, there are normal taxation. People are 4 people are going for 1 toll. All these people are here with me today. All of them are fake, but they are going to various locations and collecting money on behalf of so many ministries. When you come to this kind of meeting, you ask questions. I raise my case.
I'm right. With app. When you do app, I get not ready to don't pay cash to anybody unless the person is an app. That shows that he's collecting it on behalf of the government.
Yes.
But compared to you, giving 200 naira, you are not paying to government. You are paying to his pocket. For the other taxes and the group here, statutory, only some rent or taxes who local government. These are the ones they will do because can they make harmonization. So when you be today, you say, well, shop rent. That person is a fake revenue collector. When you get to tell you say for property rate, that person is a fake revenue collector. When you say for store rate or rent, he is a fake revenue collector. There's nothing that's supposed to be collected by the local government that is on now. The government is harmonizing it so that we can have a dedicated revenue agent for each section of the state who will be announced and made public. So no blood for people are now you are not paying to the right person. If you are in doubt, put up a call to either the BIR or the mayors of the local government. Call them that social person is in my place today. Lay your simple, you will know that person who has sent that person. What they do is they take a paper from the chairman of BIR, go to him for digital collection. They will now issue another letter to another agent and attach to it and say that now this thing. Someone came to my office with that the BIR gave him paper to collect for Bimba. I'm so sorry. They made the layer. Just the main agent. I looked at it. See, I see this one yesterday. This one is not recognized again. And if I see you in the field collecting this, I will arrest you. The person left. Since that day, I've not had anybody complain that. So there is a lot of sharp practices going on, which is normal because we are harmonizing. And they want to take that opportunity to collect illegal taxes from people. So be watchful, please. They won't.
Like now here I go much more although not the issue, but almost nearly comes to more. Like our mayor, like I'm not local government or the living like on the now we there's a team no demand I with the so and I make a man like open I able to go for those revenue which I know and I know who the government I'm not make go like government you make a man a car and a car and even money here you to the mayors now they want the mayors now behind the like fake okay now look at it now and I think why they not exhaust the whole problem in one day. Yes. Or in 1 meeting. Yes. So once a month I get me February I get me and middle February. So that my say a lot of this committee and elect some of these is this will be an opportunity for market leadership, political leadership, political appointees to rub minds and manage somebody. Mananka Igbo, Mananka pass no news. So I'm not me even though the time the television video not here, or we hide it whoever, or something like that where offline and it can be resolved. Man, narrative ma the rock or just say government revenue, and then with TSA, it goes into one account and it is distributed. The other is which channel is here another money. Yes. Now another money do you
ihe a na-azọ na onye ga-ana ya ọwụ ndị ahịa na-ana ọwụ ejenti na-ana, that is all. Even ndị ejenti ga-edi dịkwa ndị ahịa, ndị ejenti dara n'ahịa ọmakwa n'ahịa. So somehow a good solution will be found that will accommodate everybody. Before we go, I better because here in the things must be done right. That's how we get up within the Cape States. So, and people like us are willing to meet a lot of people. I don't know nothing. If we share conversation, but still decide our partner to that it's So, in terms of we're having government, but I'm not going to which one of those towns. Touting the both markets, the environment, the transport, all the places. That's what we have to put the process to measure and the mayor when you had interest in all those persons around them, which were having meeting. Yesterday, we had a meeting with the revenue officers, about 17 of them across the state. So we were to the chairman of the local government revenue committee. So they brought all their revenue inputs. So the local government the capacity, on digital system in our own. So the state will give them the digital system. We also have agents. Like I said before, we need more agents to get involved in revenue collection. We have agents, and agents get 10% of what they collect. And that person pays you immediately, and the other 90% is shared between the local government and the state. Everyone will know 100% at the state with the government revenue. It goes to them after paying the cost of collection. But in case the local government is they can which is the largest charges. We share according to the percentages. So the chairman of the market, we are still going to meet you and tell you what we are doing on. By next week, after our next week meeting, I play consultation when the mayors, because we have another committee to mayors, mayors will approve that they are okay with this. We are talking about what of one, what of our that's what they've been in that place. And they already got ahead. So whatever we agree for this stakeholders engagement covers across the state. But nobody should be afraid of anything, everybody gets involved. Can I bring that? Oh, yeah. The knowledge, the insights, the wisdom that you also provide for us. We also want to thank you for having given us a new Abians state. We want to thank you for our dear governor, Dr. Alex Oti, whom you have brought to lead this ship at this moment in time. We also pray that as we lead the ship also we also fall in line and follow suit in Jesus' name. Father, give us more knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and hope for peace and love and friendship, so that at the end of the day, the citizens will know that Abians state can come to stay. All this we pray to Christ our Lord. Amen.